The switch pass is used to quickly change the angle of attack. In this example, the switching player, Thomas Castanjed, remains on the outside for as long as possible before angling his running line in and taking the switch pass from the ball carrier. This has helped to create space inside, which he is then able to attack at pace. A 10 meter by 10 meter square can be used to introduce the technique of the switch pass off both the left and right hands. Notice how the ball carrier runs straight and then angles to the outside. The receiver remains on the outside and then switches to the inside as late as possible. Coaches should encourage players to communicate early. Check that the ball carrier is showing the ball to the switching player, that the switching player maintains enough distance behind the ball carrier, and that the pass is hidden and suitably weighted. The next activity, shown here, uses a 20 meter by 20 meter grid with 4 channels. The ball is passed laterally to the player in the 3rd channel, who then switches with the player in the 4th channel. Having caught the ball, the player in the 3rd channel instinctively scans to confirm the time and space available before attacking the space in the 4th channel. The player in the 4th channel cuts inside as late as possible. The ball is shown to the switching player and the weight of the pass is sympathetic. Note the running line of the switching player in the 4th channel is almost parallel to that of the ball carrier until as late as possible. The defender is moved to the outside, creating space inside. The ball is screened from the defender and sympathetically passed to the late cutting switching player who attacks the available space. Requiring the movement to be carried out there and back and the introduction of 2 defenders moves this practice from one of technique to skill. Here you can see how the progression of adding defenders in the 3rd and 4th channels of the grid puts pressure on the ball carrier and the switching player. It also helps to emphasize the impact of the late cutting running line from the switching player. Here you can see the critical elements performed under pressure. Running line, scan and fix the defender. The defender is moved to the outside, creating space inside. The ball is screened from the defender and sympathetically passed to the late cutting switching player who attacks the available space. Now take another look at the example where Carlos Spencer switches with Thomas Castanjed to great effect. Notice how the running lines of the ball carrier and the switching player work together to draw the defenders across, creating an attacking opportunity inside, and how late the switching player changes his running line to the inside, the precision of the pass, and then how the switching player straightens up his running line and attacks the space created. Once the skill of the switch pass is mastered, players have the option of using a dummy switch as a decoy. Here you can see this used to great effect by Matt Giteau. Everything is carried out at pace and with complete commitment. The only difference is that the ball is not released. Notice that for the dummy pass to be most effective, the dummy runner has an important off-the-ball role to play as a convincing decoy. Key factors for the switch pass are: the ball carrier runs straight at the defender and then angles to the outside to draw the defender across. The ball carrier turns to make the ball visible to the receiver and maintains an awareness of defenders. The receiver remains on the outside, then switches to the inside as late as possible and calls for the ball. The receiver takes the pass and adjusts their running line accordingly. Coaching points for the switch pass are: early communication between the ball carrier and the receiver is vital. Is the ball carrier showing the ball to the receiver, and is it shielded from defenders? Is the receiver maintaining enough distance behind the ball carrier? The receiver should execute the switch as close to the tackle line as possible. The weight of the pass is crucial for effective delivery. Run activities so players pass off both hands, left and right. As a follow-up handling activity, coaches can use a grid and introduce conditioned defense to give groups of attacking players the opportunity to judge which type of pass to use in order to score. Players should assess the opportunities in front of them and use an appropriate type of pass to attack effectively. Coaches should consider starting with a minimum number of defenders so that players can develop their decision-making with confidence before moving onto the pitch for opposed game practices. Coaching points are: passes should be for the receiver, not at the receiver. Receivers should create and preserve distance behind the ball carrier. Players should always respond to any mistakes or dropped balls with urgency.